Grace is usually framed as a moral virtue, but in public life, it's often applied selectively. This series isn't about cancellation, it's about consistency, especially from people with influence. People are allowed to change. That's not controversial, it's human. But standards don't disappear just because someone is popular and aligned with a certain audience. This series isn't a whole recollection of a person's life or career. It's about analyzing what happens when the standards are applied selectively and what happens when that grace is gone. In episode 1, we're focusing on Melonie Mac, a creator who moved from participation in gaming media into cultural commentary with moral framing and significant authority within her niche. Many people first encountered Melonie Mac during her time with G4, hosting, reacting, and participating in gaming culture as part of a broader ensemble. At this stage, her role was contributory rather than directive. She was present in gaming discourse, but not positioned as a moral or cultural authority. Around the same period, Melonie also appeared on GameStop TV, an in-store retail media network designed to entertain customers and promote upcoming releases. This context matters. GameStop TV wasn't commentary or critique, it was promotional media. Upbeat, accessible, and deliberately non-confrontational. Hosts were expected to reflect enthusiasm for games and gaming culture as it existed, not to diagnose it or moralize it. This placed Melonie squarely within gaming as an industry-facing participant, visible, personable, and aligned with consumer engagement rather than ideological framing. Across this early period, G4, GameStop TV, and early online presence, Melonie expressed a broader range of cultural opinions without moral framing. Early social posts and commentary reflect preferences, reactions, and curiosity, not prescriptions. The language centers on what she likes, what she notices, or what she finds interesting, rather than what is harmful or corrupt. Later, this framing narrows.
Whenever I do venture off and share my opinion on stuff, especially more controversial type topics, that tends to make some people a little salty. So I decided to make this channel so that those who don't want to see my opinions on things don't have to watch. So
after G4 and retail media appearances ended, her role shifted. Content became less about participation and more about explanation. Diagnosing trends, identifying causes, and assigning responsibility within gaming culture. This isn't a change in interests, it's a change in posture. As anti-woke media ecosystems expanded, opposition itself became a form of credibility. Critics of institutions, journalists, and developers were increasingly framed not as disagreement, but as moral clarity, evidence of ideological resistance. Melonie's content fit cleanly into this environment. The critiques weren't new, but they were moralized, amplified, and rewarded.
yes, I said it, and no, I don't care if anybody thinks I am crazy. The woke ideology is satanic, and I'm gonna tell you why.
As audience interest in social, political problems in gaming and media decreased, Melonie Mac shifted slightly once again. She wasn't just reacting. She explains cultural harm, assigns responsibility, and outlines what should change. That's the point where opinion becomes perspective and authority forms. As her commentary presence grew, collaboration became a key accelerant of authority. Appearing alongside established commentators, podcast hosts, and culture war creators didn't just expand her reach, it clarified her role. In these spaces, Melonie wasn't treated as a casual guest offering personal opinion. She was positioned as someone with explanatory value, able to contextualize gaming controversies, articulate moral stakes, and translate cultural conflict for aligned audiences. Collaboration is selective. Creators invite on guests who reinforce shared narratives, signal credibility to their audience, and speak fluently in the same ideological language. Melonie's framing, calm, diagnostic, values-oriented, made her a reliable interlocutor in these environments. With that authority established and socially reinforced, scrutiny eventually followed. As her influence grew, attention came not just from critics or audiences, but from mainstream gaming media. At one point, a Kotaku editor publicly signaled potential focus on her as a cultural figure. In response, Melonie engaged directly on social media, even offering public conversation rather than disengagement. What followed was instructive. Rather than prompting broad, standard-based evaluation, many online allies immediately reframed the scrutiny as an attack. Supportive responses from aligned creators positioned the criticism itself as ideologically motivated, or as proof that she was over the target. Instead of weakening her standing, the moment further consolidated it, transforming external critique into internal protection. A rare internal fracture appears during what online critics referred to as Gunnergate. Beginning in late 2024 and extending into early 2025, Melonie publicly commented on sexualized character designs in games like The First Descendant, calling for perverts to be removed from gaming. Some commentators on the right, including those who previously shared her critiques, questioned whether this moral framing mirrored the same cultural condemnation she once opposed. This discomfort wasn't ideological disagreement alone, it was a backlash to an unaddressed shift in social political beliefs that were part of why her community followed her. This is where selective grace becomes fully visible. In ideological movements, standards are supposed to apply evenly, but once someone is aligned, useful, and socially reinforced, grace is extended, and with it, insulation from the scrutiny others face. Past behavior is reframed as proof of insight rather than something to be evaluated against present standards. Standards don't disappear, they're reassigned. Selective grace also explains the fallout. When protection is granted through alignment rather than standards, its withdrawal is rarely measured. Moments like Gunnergate expose this instability, where a once protected voice becomes contested not because the rules changed, but because alignment wavered. That's why internal fractures feel sudden and personal. They aren't about disagreement, they're about a collapse of conditional protection. This isn't about canceling someone for change. It's about noticing when the standards applied to others stop applying as you get to the top. Conservatism values consistency, earned authority, and equal application of standards. Selective grace isn't a left-wing or right-wing problem. It's what happens when movements decide some voices are too important to question. And once that happens, the rules don't disappear. They just stop applying upward. Hey everyone! Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time!